Our next laureate is Ben Heppner. One of the finest operatic tenors of our time, acclaimed for the beauty and the power of his voice, his keen musicianship, his intuitive dramatic sense, his generosity with audience, and I have to say his sense of humor. The first time I heard Ben sing, he was doing Rollover Beethoven with the Bare Naked Ladies. That's just true. His illustrious career has taken him to the major cultural venues around the world, and his performances on the opera stage, in concert with the world's leading orchestras and conductors and prestigious recital venues, and in recordings, have set new standards in his demanding repertoire. Ben was born in Murrayville, British Columbia, grew up in Dawson Creek. He studied music at the Universities of British Columbia and Toronto. In 1979, he won the CBC Talent Festival. In 1988, he received first prize and the Bridget Nilsson Prize at the Metropolitan Opera auditions, bringing him to international attention and positioning him to become one of the world's most celebrated tenors. A decade later, the Globe and Mail wrote, "There are two categories of tenors today, Ben Heppner and everybody else." He announced his retirement from singing in April 2014, though, if you ask really nicely, he still performs occasionally. And he now shares his musical passion and wisdom in his role as host of CBC Radio's Saturday Afternoon at the Opera and Backstage with Ben Heppner, and as a voice teacher and an adjudicator. Madam Chief Justice, Ben Heppner.
Madam Chief Justice, Madame the Titian, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell you that I knew that I would be an opera singer from the time I was in my mother's womb. But that, of course, would be a lie. I didn't even like opera until after I graduated from university. But I love to sing. I was drawn to music like a moth is drawn to a flame. But 9 years on, things looked a little bleak financially. I was married with 3 small children and a big mortgage. It was just after Christmas, about 30 years ago. My beloved and I were doing a jigsaw puzzle on the dining room table. We talked about life, past, present, and mainly future. I said, I was tired of being mediocre at a bunch of things. I wanted to be really good at one thing. And I figured that would probably singing. So I took a risk and I mortgaged my future. I gave myself 1 year to make it. I remember I'm 31 at this point. And I took lessons, I practiced, I entered a singing competition. All the eggs were in one basket. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. And quite frankly, if I had written my story in advance, I couldn't have imagined how wonderful it has been. 30 years on, I'm here at Rideau Hall receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award and surrounded by some of the most accomplished artists in the world. It's been a wild and wonderful ride. And I'm still wide-eyed with kind of a childlike wonder and amazement because I don't think that puzzle of my life's work is finished yet. But here's the good news. At least the picture is getting a little clearer.